SpaceX is already gearing up for the next Starship launch, eyeing a date soon. However, the decision to proceed lies with the FAA. Following the triumph of its third test, the company is ambitiously aiming to send the rocket skyward for the fourth time as early as May, contingent on FAA approval. Elon Musk's team is fervently working to tackle challenges and leverage Starship for ferrying cargo and crew to the Moon, and possibly even to Mars. SpaceX first launched the formidable Starship in April of the previous year, yet it took a lengthy 7 months before it took to the skies again. After a second test flight in November, SpaceX managed to launch Starship from the launch pad once more just 4 months later, in a spectacular flight that occurred last week. Now, Elon Musk's team is setting their sights on launching the world's most powerful rocket into space for the fourth time, aiming for May. While SpaceX engineers require time between launches to analyze data from the previous test mission, the interval between flights has also been influenced by investigations into each mission overseen by the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA. SpaceX cannot launch Starship into the heavens until it secures a launch permit from the FAA, hence it is eagerly hoping to receive clearance as soon as possible to meet the anticipated May launch date. Speaking at the Satellite 2024 conference in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday, Gwynne Shotwell, President and Chief Operating Officer of SpaceX, mentioned that engineers were still scrutinizing data from the most recent flight and hoped to fly again in about 6 weeks. As reported by Space.com, Shotwell expressed that the third test flight was incredibly successful. We hit exactly where we wanted to go. While the first 2 test flights ended abruptly, with the vehicle exploding minutes after takeoff, the third test witnessed Starship, consisting of the first stage Super Heavy booster and the second stage Starship spacecraft, achieving stage separation for the second time and completing the main part of the planned mission, including reaching orbit for the first time. Issues arose in the later stages, however, when the Super Heavy exploded as it descended toward the Gulf of Mexico and Starship disintegrated while plummeting at high speed over the Indian Ocean. It's this segment of the mission that engineers will be eager to rectify for the fourth test flight. Once fully tested and certified, SpaceX and NASA plan to use the powerful spacecraft to transport cargo and crew to the Moon, and it may even carry the first astronauts to Mars. The anticipation surrounding SpaceX's fourth Starship launch is high, with several aspects to watch for. Given the company's track record and the outcomes of previous launches, here are some considerations for what to expect. 1. Technological improvements and innovations. Given the challenges encountered in the third test flight, SpaceX is likely to introduce significant technological improvements to both the Super Heavy booster and the Starship spacecraft. This may involve enhancements in the vehicle's structural integrity, propulsion systems, and flight software to address the issues that led to the previous mishap during descent and landing. 2. Increased focus on safety and reliability. With the FAA's stringent oversight, safety will be paramount. SpaceX will have thoroughly analyzed data from the third flight to make necessary adjustments. Expectations include a heightened focus on ensuring that the rocket can safely reach orbit and return. This involves not just the physical safety of the launch, but also ensuring that the flight path and all operational parameters meet rigorous safety standards to protect public safety and the environment. 3. A step closer to crewed and cargo missions. The fourth launch is not just another test. It represents a critical step towards the Starship's operational use for carrying cargo and crew to the Moon and potentially Mars. Success in this launch would demonstrate SpaceX's progress in making interplanetary travel a reality. It would also bring SpaceX and NASA closer to their goal of utilizing Starship for the Artemis missions to the Moon. 4. Public and governmental scrutiny. Given the high-profile nature of the Starship project and its significance for future space exploration, this launch will be under intense scrutiny from the public, government, and regulatory bodies. Success would not only be a technological triumph, but also a public relations victory, reinforcing trust in SpaceX's capabilities. Conversely, any issues could lead to further regulatory and public scrutiny. 5. Global interest in space exploration. The fourth launch of Starship will undoubtedly attract global attention, highlighting the renewed interest and excitement in space exploration. It's a reminder of the collaborative and competitive spirit driving humanity's quest to explore beyond our planet. Success here could inspire new investments, partnerships, and innovations in the space sector. 6. Potential milestones for space tourism and commerce. Projecting when SpaceX's Starship will actually carry cargo and astronauts to the Moon and Mars hinges on several critical milestones and challenges that need to be addressed. Here are some considerations on the timeline and factors that will determine the project's readiness for these historic missions. 7. Progress through test flights. The sequence of successful test flights, including the upcoming fourth launch, is crucial. Each test allows SpaceX to refine the design, enhance safety protocols, and improve reliability. Assuming a successful fourth launch and subsequent tests, each achievement brings SpaceX closer to crewed missions. However, the timeline depends on the frequency and outcomes of these tests, with any setbacks potentially causing delays. 8. Regulatory approval and certification. Before Starship can embark on missions to the Moon or Mars with humans aboard, it must receive certification from regulatory bodies like the FAA. This process involves rigorous scrutiny of the spacecraft's design, safety features, and performance across multiple test flights. The time frame for obtaining such certification can be lengthy, depending on the data gathered from tests and the responsiveness of the design to safety concerns. 9. Development of life support and habitability systems. For crewed missions, SpaceX must develop advanced life support systems to sustain astronauts in space for extended periods. This includes reliable systems for oxygen, water, food supply, and waste management, as well as protection against space radiation. The complexity of these systems, especially for a Mars mission that could last several months, cannot be underestimated and will require extensive testing. 10. Lunar and Martian infrastructure. Success in reaching the Moon and Mars involves more than just landing astronauts on these celestial bodies. Sustainable presence requires the development of infrastructure for habitats, research facilities, and possibly fuel generation, like the planned production of rocket fuel from Martian resources. Collaborations with NASA, particularly for lunar missions under the Artemis program, will play a pivotal role in establishing the necessary groundwork. 11. Technological and logistical challenges for Mars missions. Mars missions pose additional challenges due to the distance, requiring more advanced propulsion systems to reduce travel time and enhance crew safety. The logistical complexities of launching supplies, creating sustainable living conditions, and ensuring the ability to return to Earth add layers of difficulty that extend the timeline for a Mars mission beyond that of lunar missions. 12. Projected timelines. While specific dates are difficult to pin down, SpaceX's aggressive development schedule and the rapid pace of advancements suggest that lunar missions could occur later this decade, particularly cargo missions that precede human landings. Mars missions are more likely to follow in the 2030s, given the additional complexities and the need for extended preparation and technology development. In conclusion, the timeline for Starship carrying cargo and astronauts to the Moon and Mars is influenced by a mix of technological, regulatory, and logistical factors. While SpaceX's ambition and progress suggest that these milestones could be reached relatively soon, the inherent challenges of space exploration necessitate cautious optimism. Achieving these goals will mark a new era in human space exploration, underscoring the importance of continued innovation, testing, and international collaboration. Finally, the success of this launch could accelerate plans for space tourism and commercial activities in space. SpaceX's vision extends beyond governmental contracts, aiming to open space for private individuals and enterprises. A successful test could bring us closer to seeing these ambitious plans take shape, potentially revolutionizing how we interact with space. In summary, the fourth SpaceX Starship launch stands as a pivotal event, not just for SpaceX, but for the broader aerospace industry and our ambitions in space exploration. Success would mark a significant step forward in achieving more ambitious space missions, while any setbacks would serve as a learning opportunity to refine and improve future attempts. Subscribe to the channel and remember to leave a like on the video.